This is Harriet from the More Self Discovery Podcast. I know it's been so long. I have been so busy, but I am just glad to be back with you guys. It has been a journey, and I will want to talk about that in another podcast. But today we have a special treat. I have met a wonderful entrepreneur, and just just her journey, just talking to her, you will be very enlightened and very empowered. But before we discuss her, her and my introduction, I want to kind of give you a PSA. I have up now have a clothing line called the More Fashion for You, and that's I'll put that in the show notes for those who are listening. And I try to gear it towards women, so it's the business woman, the entrepreneur woman, or just just being casual. So just check out www.morefashionforyou.com, and I'll put that caption on there for you so people can see. Also, for those who are listening by podcast, it will be in the show notes. Okay, so without further ado, this wonderful woman of God. Her name is Rosa Green, but she is known for people who know her as simply Rosa. She is a facet of embodiment of a lot of things, and so she is a mom of seven and a wife of one, which we all love that. We can only handle one spouse at a time, so
Yes,
we there for life. Okay, and she is a serial entrepreneur. One of her business that we're going to talk to. This is going to be a one of three-part series because she has so much to share and so much to give to our audience, and so I wanted to break it up into three parts of episodes. So today we're going to talk to her about her beginnings and how she started, and just kind of just glean from her knowledge and her journey. And so, Rosa, thank you so much for allowing me to interview you and to just share your triumphs and what you are doing for your community and for the people as a whole. So thank you and
you are
welcome.
welcome, Harriet. I am excited to be here as well. So thank you again for inviting me.
Absolutely. So just tell us, give us a background of who you are.
So I like to tell people entrepreneurialism was in my blood. I was born of two entrepreneurs who were contractors. So that's all I knew. I knew that if you needed anything, if there was anything that you desired, that you created it. You didn't go out and joined in on something else. You created it for yourself. So very independent, very strong willed, very creative. But it definitely started from my core, even for myself as I moved on in life. I've been working and supporting small business owners directly for about 20 years now. So, straight out of high school, I started I'm here in Cleveland, Ohio right now. And I started with a local newspaper, helping in the sales department, helping with delivering newspapers. I mean, every part of that small business, working and learning all of the things that went into it, accounts receivable, accounts payable. It was an amazing experience. From there, I went to an IT company, again, as an employee, but these were startup companies. So I felt like I was still able to be an entrepreneur. And
Mm-hmm.
from there, I have been just helping and supporting business owners until about 2008, when the stock markets fell and everyone lost a
Mm-hmm.
job and lost something. It was time for me to go back to my roots and go back to that entrepreneurialism that I knew. Why? Because I had just lost my job and had a brand new house and a brand new car and two small
Wow.
children. So
Right.
if you don't ever know when to figure it out, that is the time to figure it out.
Who
So
you telling exactly?
I was started in direct sales in 2008, and fast forward, 48 Hour LLC was born at the beginning of the year. However, it is my 20 years of experience that has made that company skyrocket very fast, and its experience is far beyond its age.
Wow. So let's I just want to recap. Your beginning started from home. You came from parents that believed in starting something for themselves instead of working for someone else. And just when you have parents like that, and I can definitely relate because I have been around, and my father was an entrepreneur briefly. It's something about building something from the ground up in it, of your own, and you have that control of your own destiny. And as parents, you want to instill that how do I say it, that strong hold of being who you are with by creating who you are, and that can, and make it as a business, because that's leaving a legacy for your family.
Mhm.
And so I it just we come from I don't want to tell my age, but let's just say that my parents came from the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, and you stress the hard work, do it, you can get your education. But going beyond that, people, a lot of people understand that having your own and something to leave a legacy to your future generations is also important. So I can definitely relate to you in coming up with wanting to just, you just have that itch to to create something that that you have a passion for, and just turn it into a viable business to help others, and then come back and pull others who are who wish to do the same thing, and you being the example. And so you learned from just your job from working in a newspaper. I mean, it just, it never left you as far as wanting to create something on your own. So I definitely, can relate, and I admire that. And I'm so supportive of those who wants, especially for us as melanated people.
Yes.
We
Yes.
definitely need to, instill that in our, in our future generations.
Thank you. Thank you. The one thing that I feel like I gained and that I apply to all of my businesses and just to life is my ability to be creative, my ability to be strategic, and to be efficient. And if I could add another adjective to it, I am a support person. I try to
Mm,
serve people in
mm,
what I'm doing. Uh,
mhm.
although you if you don't work you don't eat,
Right.
it isn't that isn't why I do the things that I do. I really work to make sure that people leave better off than when I found them.
Right.
Whether there is going to be instant gratification, whether it's something where we'll partner down the line, or hey, it may be something that's stored away in heaven when I get there that I'll be
Mhm.
rewarded for. But I am just I want to make sure that all of the things that I've experienced, good, bad, and indifferent, helps to change someone's life one way or the other. And everyone kind of has a target market. There's people who love women, there's people who work with men, people who seniors or children or special needs. My heart is for entrepreneurs. That is my heart. My heart is for entrepreneurs through and through. And I know that that is what helps the world go round. It's the creativity, it's how new products come. Sure enough, there's big businesses, like think about it, Steve Jobs, he was an entrepreneur first.
Right.
Sure enough, it is a conglomerate now, but he had a crazy idea and he went with it and he enrolled others in his vision, and now we're working for him in one capacity or another because he decided to do something that was in his heart, that was in his mind, that he figured out how to execute. And it's things like that that I can't help but get excited every time.
Absolutely. So tell us, what was your aha moment to where you had a certain product or service that you just wanted to create and create your business from that.
Okay, so as you said, I have tons of businesses. So I'm going to go specifically on how I came about with 48 Hour LLC.
Okay.
So 48 Hour LLC was actually born in December, which sounds so crazy. December of this year. I have a lot of product-based businesses.
Mm-hmm.
However, I felt like with those product-based businesses that I still wasn't really serving as much as I could.
Mm-hmm.
So just dealing with some things going on in my household, I wasn't able to be as present as I needed to in my product-based business. And I realized, hey, there is definitely some flexibility that's needed, even when you're an entrepreneur, to be able to shift and move differently when your family, time, other situations arise. So I said, you know what? A service-based business will allow me to do and have a little more flexibility in how I schedule and I work with people.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes it will also allow for me to work in the background versus being forward facing and still get the job done. Where the product doesn't sell itself, they need you to
Right.
physically show up, physically
Exactly.
show the product. 48 Hour LLC does have components in which I can take the information down, give you a call and follow up via email or text, but get the work done without being forward facing. That way, if there's small fires going on, you still get what you need, but
Mm-hmm.
I am able to tend to the fires and still serve my customers. So it was very important to me in that time that I had a business that still could.
Uh-oh. I hope we didn't lose. Sorry, people. Look like we froze a little bit. That's what technology does. Um,
To again serve that
okay.
population in which I am very much passionate about. I still wanted to serve that population. So thinking back over my years, I realized I can start a business fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Green Rose experience, and we'll talk about that in one of our other episodes, that company, I made a decision. By the end of the day, the business was started, it was filed, it was registered with the state. I had a website up, done deal within 9 hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, it doesn't take long, as of back in the day, you gotta wait, certain
Okay.
amount of time. And with everything with electronic, you can do everything online and be up and running, within hours. So yes. So talk about your mindset when you decided to open up 48 Hour LLC. Which, by the way, what's your target? What's your service and what's your target market?
Okay, so my target market is new and inspiring business owners, no matter how young or how old.
Okay.
Um, as far as my services, the first component is literally starting your business. So getting the business formation done. So for those people who have goals or have visions about doing something, whether it's opening a boutique, starting a
Hmm.
podcast, a new invention, they're passionate about that thing. That doesn't
Hmm.
always mean they know how to do the paperwork. They just know
Right.
that this is the vision and I need it to go forward. Well, I'm a great support person for that.
Okay.
Filing, I'll make sure that you have a website if you need one, a logo. I'll make sure you have all of the things so that your business is professional, so that if to be able to be available for that or for that project. In addition to that, I started a coaching program as well. So I found that people, not only did they need that part, but they were like, okay, so now that I have a business, now what? What do I do next?
Right.
So I have a strong start coaching program that is over the course of 90 days. And I work with 10 people each month, starting
Mm-hmm.
the first Tuesday of each month. But I go through goal setting, talking about spotting and branding, talking about mindset, talking about just the steps that you need building up towards a successful 90-day goal. Whether it's, hey, I want to have a grand opening, or hey, I want to launch this product, or hey, I need to make XYZ amount of money in this time frame. I work with my clients to be able to do so.
Okay, so what are the components do you think as a entrepreneur that most people should have in order to start their business? I know a lot of people may say, "Well, I want to do that," but in reality, when you start to talk to them and start to go through the steps with them, their mind is not really, you know, it's all over the place, and that they may not be the right type of person to be, own their own business. So what do you suggest, people who wants to start their business, what their type of mindset is, or the components of what they need to become successful as a business owner?
I'm actually going to answer it this way. I typically have what I call like 5 steps that all new and aspiring entrepreneurs should consider first. So,
Hmm.
one, what is the product and service? So many times we want a boutique or a salon, or we want this, but we haven't really researched to see what or how easy is it going to be able to get or deliver that product and service. So
Right.
you need to first identify what it is you want to do, and not, hey, I want to open a store. Okay, what kind of store? But really niche down to what it is you're looking to do. And it can expand, but at least a starting place.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So identifying the product. Second, it will be making sure you understand the time and the cost that goes along with it. So many
Hmm.
times we'll start a business and we'll be like, oh, I didn't expect that to cost this much, and things like
Right.
that. And now there's unexpected costs. You can't move forward because you don't have it. Why? Because you're still working another job, trying to balance it, or you're unemployed and now you really need to eat today, but this is probably a eat tomorrow project. So
Hmm.
identifying the time and the money requirements to be able for that business to get started. And then the emotional management, like you said. So, hey, know that there's going to be some long nights and some 0 days. And 0 days is just days where you didn't sell anything, where you didn't set any appointments, where you didn't do anything that you think you were supposed to do in your business. But being able to be okay, being able to have coping mechanisms, like, hey, if you know that you're disappointed and no is something that you can't really tolerate, you may need to practice saying no in the mirror several times. You may need to remember that you hang up on your creditors. So if you hang up on your creditors, you can't possibly be mad when people hang up on you. Some of those,
That's a good point. That's a good
right?
point.
Some of the things, so really talking about that emotional management piece. Are you mentally, socially, emotionally ready to start this business? Then it's making sure that you enroll your family and friends, letting your family and friends know that you're getting ready to do this. So if you're used to going bowling on Tuesday with a group of friends, starting your new business, you may not be able to go bowling. They
That's
may
a
be
huge
offended.
piece.
They may need to find someone to replace you in the league. But wouldn't you rather have that conversation up front versus surprising them? Hey, you've been missing for 3 weeks. They wonder where you are. You're never coming back. Or you might not even know you're not coming back because you never even thought about the time constraint that is needed for, or the time commitment that is needed for your business. And then last
Right.
but not least, go. Start the business. So many people have all of these things and dreams, and it's all bottled up in a nice little folder or on a file or on a Pinterest or somewhere. But at the end of the day, none of it matters. No planning, no amount of money matters if you don't do it. So just go
Exactly.
ahead and get the business done.
And I think that also is an issue, because you have all these wonderful ideas and everything, but if you're just afraid and just don't step out there and do it, it's nobody's not going to know what your service or your product is. And again, that goes back to the mindset. And you made a good point about family and friends. Can you elaborate a little bit more of how do you suggest people to talk to family and friends? Because I mean, you may have a lot of some, if you have support system in your family and friend, that's great, that's wonderful.
Mhm,
But you may have some people that are kind of resistant,
mhm,
not supportive, and unfortunately they could be your family or
mhm.
friends that are, really not supportive, always question, having a negative feedback to you, and it kind of brings you down. So how do you suggest people can kind of, weed that out and overcome that type of mindset?
First and foremost, I try to make sure that people understand that no one has to support your business. Now, I know that sounds crazy. It's like, so why are we even starting a business? Every person who crosses your path that takes an interest in your business and in you, those are gifts. No one has
Mhm.
to do it.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, you tend to be have less disappointments when you parents do support you. That's great, but if they don't, you didn't anticipate it either way. So
Mhm.
when I go to talk to my family and friends about my new vision, I say it kind of in passing. Sometimes I'll have a sit down conversation, but I'm not saying it so that they do anything different. It's more of a notice. Like, for instance, you know that your bank, when it becomes a holiday, they put a notice on the door to let you know, hey, in 3 weeks this bank will not be open on this day. They're not really saying, hey, do something different. They're just saying that, hey, if you come look for me, I won't be there.
Wow. That's a
So
good analogy.
it's the same concept. You don't necessarily, when you're sharing these things with your family and friends, you're not necessarily sharing it because you want them to do something different. You're sharing it so that you can say that I'm getting ready to do something different. Okay.
Mhm.
And then if they follow up and they ask questions, again, you just answer the question. Don't be, oh, if she asked me this question, that means she's going to buy this or she's going to do this. No, she's just asking the question.
Right.
Everyone is just asking a question, whether they're related or not. It's up to you to have a call to action if you choose, so that they can go forward in your business. But other than that, you're just sharing information. So I know for my family, I let them know in passing. If I see that it is going to affect them differently, I let them know, hey, this is getting ready to happen. This is what I'm going to do. Like, I'm not sure how much you follow me on social media, but I've been on this self-guided tour around the world. So I had to let my family know. I didn't just pop up and disappear and was in another state. I kind of had to let them know, hey, through these dates, I'm going to be gone. Here are the
Mhm.
support systems. These are the things that I put in place, the meals that I cook, the cleaning regimen. Here's the things. Here's when all of those tools. I make sure that I put them in place so that they can still operate and they can know what they can expect from me. I can still operate and I can know what to expect from them. And I think that if you have an open line of communication, it's well. Now, it doesn't mean you don't have to revisit it, because definitely in my household, I've had to revisit conversations that I thought I said the first, the
Right.
second, and the 10th time. But, they have other things that are in their mind and that they're dealing with, just like you do. So you can't even be mad if for whatever reason you have to repeat yourself. Now, it's better said than done. I'm still practicing that myself, but I at least know, even when I do get frustrated, I do remind myself, hey, they got a lot going on. This is what's going on. They're just asking questions. They just want to know the information. Everybody wants to know how to be made to feel important. Everybody wants to know what's in it for them. So I try to make sure that I answer those questions first, and then everything else is whatever they need to hear.
That is awesome, especially, and I was while you were talking about, laying everything, having everything pre-planned when you know that you have to go out on a business trip. Because I mean, that's one of the things as far as a married, or if you have married with kids, the first thing they're gonna say, well, who's gonna cook dinner? How are we gonna eat? And so the best thing is to prepare, because you already know that you're going out, you have a business meeting, that you're not going to be at home. And so you at least, you are making sure that the family is still functioning on,
Mhm.
normal operations, even though you're not there, and you give them specific instructions. Okay, this is what this and this. You already got meals prepared for them. And I think, that is very important, and especially with, a spouse, especially you have a husband that, expects, to be home at a certain time, and, family, expects you to be home, the kids expect you to be home. But I mean, I think family has to realize you're doing this for them as well
Mhm.
as for yourself. It'll all come, it'll all benefit everybody, in due time.
And I will say, a lot of people, they don't think about this or consider it, but you have to have an on and off button as well. So, when you're out of town, or even if you're in town and you're working really heavy, I tend to work, what I've noticed, I work like more like a 10-4 schedule versus a 5-2, meaning
Mhm.
5 days a week, 2 days off. I tend to work more 10 days in a row and then take a day or so off, maybe a little
Mhm.
more, just because I realized that by the time I get to day 5, I'm right at the heat of it. Oh my goodness, if I just push a little
Right.
more, I can get some things done. So I tend to break my months up a little differently than people, but when I'm off, I'm off. And that
Mhm.
helps me even mentally. So if it's situations where I know, hey, I'm going to melt down, or hey, this is a lot, or this is overwhelming, to know, in my off days. So I know, hey, on Monday the 15th, I will be able to breathe. I just need to make it to Monday the 15th. Hold it together till
Mhm.
Monday the 15th. And then on Monday the 15th, no, you won't be able to have access to me. No, you won't be able to, because that is my time to be able to have my pit stop, to refuel my engines, to make sure my tires have enough air so that I can finish this race that I've started.
Absolutely. Fun fact: when you, it just remind me, and I don't know if you can relate. Um, what was it? The movie of one of Tyler Perry movie. Why did I get married? One. My
I don't
husband.
I don't watch TV. I don't know.
Okay, okay. My husband always referred to this one. It was certain couples, they were going out on a retreat. Just to kind of renew their marriage and everything. And this one particular couple, she was an entrepreneur. She was always on the phone doing business and stuff. And even through this is supposed to be a couple's getaway, she still was, busy on the phone. And my husband always teased me, because I'm always thinking about business and trying to, uh, you know, it's always something business related. Either I'm on the computer, or which is most of the majority of my time that I stay in my office, and on the computer. And it's funny because you have to learn how to turn it off when you're off, and when you're focused, when your family time is family time, and you got to kind of, take that break and take that breather,
Mhm.
instead of, oh, I'm thinking about, oh, this could be a time I should be making the phone call, I should be doing this, I should be sending emails, I should be doing that. And he always, I forgot the character name, but he always called me that particular lady who was, the always, thinking about her business. And so, you do have to learn how to, work at a certain, you got your schedule, but when you're off, when you're not accessible, you're not accessible. It is what it is. You'll
Yeah.
pick up, the next time, yeah, at the next day.
I
So
I even
that just
have a
reminded me of that.
I even have a structured schedule. So on Monday, even though I work, it's more self-care stuff. So
Mhm.
if I'm going to volunteer somewhere, it's more likely on Monday. My therapist, I love my therapist. I speak to my therapist. It's my coffee. That's my version of coffee.
Mm.
9 o'clock Monday morning. Good morning. How
Mhm.
are you? So this is where I melted down. This is where I was successful. These are the coping skills I did. I need more coping skills. I'll see you
Mhm.
next Monday at 9 o'clock. So
Mhm.
that's how I structure my Monday. So I ease into the week and things like that. But a lot of the things that I do on Monday is things that are heart things. So following up with certain customers that touch my heart or that cross my mind, doing those kind of heart things, that's my Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm full blown coaching. Tuesday is my longest day where I'm coaching from 9 a.m. till about 11 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wednesday, I'm a little more flexible, typically because I'm either gearing up to go out of town or preparing for any activities that may need my time away from the office before the weekend. Thursday, I'm either traveling or again working here in one of my other businesses. Now, Friday is a little different. My husband, he's an entrepreneur as well, but he works a full time job and he
Okay.
works 4 10s, meaning he's off on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing schedule. So
Mm-hmm.
on Fridays, I don't schedule anything because I don't care how many times we talk about it at night. Hey, we doing anything Friday? No, we're not doing anything Friday. You sure we're not doing anything Friday? No, we're not doing anything Friday. Friday, come. Hey, come, let's do this. I I asked you. So
Right.
I don't even schedule anything on Friday, and I safely assume, and more times than not, that is my day that even if we are doing business, it is together. We are side by side on Friday. Saturday, he's probably sick of me. So Saturday, I'm on my own to do my thing. Sunday, he's like, hey, let's reconvene. Let's do family stuff. Let's get these tasks. Let's prepare for the next week. And then I'm back at it again. So, with that structure, I feel like I am more productive than I've ever been because I release myself from working at times that I know I shouldn't. I fully am engaged at times that I should. And when emergencies arise or my calendar shifts, because I know my structure and I know the strategies that go behind what I'm doing, I'm able
Mm-hmm.
to shift without it being catastrophic.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. And it's awesome that your husband is also an entrepreneur. So that's like the extra icing on the cake because he understands what it is to be, have your own business. I'm the same with like him. I still have my full-time job and my whole goal is to be like you when I grow up and to leave my full-time job and just work exclusively for me. So,
Now, what I will say about us is I'm an entrepreneur first, then a wife. He is a husband first, then he's an
ooh,
entrepreneur.
all right. All righty
Now,
then.
and the difference between the two is again, I was an entrepreneur much longer than I was a mother and a wife.
Mhm.
So even the way I approach relationship stuff, a lot of times it's very business. I'd like to have quarterly meetings about what's going on in the house. Normal humans are not having quarterly meetings about what's going on in their house. However, I feel like I cannot function and plan for my next year and my 5-year goal if we're not having those conversations. So I
Mhm.
am an entrepreneur first, and then it's like, okay, turn that off, go be a wife, go be a mom. Not a bad thing, just reality. My
Mhm.
husband, he's a husband, he's a guy. He just became an entrepreneur through seeing me and seeing the creativity, seeing the support system, seeing what was possible. So that's not his first language.
Wow. Okay. So
So
you
even
were
though
the
he,
inspiration for him.
yes, I definitely was the inspiration, and that's why I'm his chief operating officer. And if you wonder what that means, he does all the fun stuff in his business, and I do the hard stuff.
And with that being said, that was going and that we need to talk about that. So let's talk about the actual the nuts and bolts of running your business
Mhm,
in our next episode. Um you have just in the beginning, you gave us so much insight of how, you offer the service of how to start the business because people want to know, well, where do I start? I want to do this, but where do I start? What do I need to, what kind of paperwork I need?
mhm.
People who are listening, who are on a stream feed, this is her website. This is Rosa's website. Please check it out. She
Oh, there's a hyphen in there. I'm so
I'm
sorry. It's
sorry. I'm sorry.
mm,
Those who
it,
are listening, I will definitely make sure it is on the show notes.
yes.
So let me edit that for those who are listening. Where's the hyphen?
It's 48 hyphen hour LLC.
48 hour hyphen
No, 48 hyphen hour. So,
all one word. 48
yes,
hour 48 hyphen hour.
I sent it in your
Gotcha.
message.
Gotcha. Yes.com.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I have two. There's two comments. Um, MJ Chung, great job. Thank you. We appreciate feedback for those who are watching us. And for
There
those
you
who are on the podcast listening, I will definitely put that in the show notes. Please join us. I will do a pre promo of the schedule of when we're going to do part two of with talking with Miss Rosa Green. She is such a phenomenal person, and I just you can tell that she has her stuff together. She has many ways of helping you. You can tell she's very passionate about what she does.
go. Yes.
So I thank you. We're going to talk soon, and you guys in the audience, stay tuned and please hit the like. Those who are on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe button. Also, go on your any podcast platform, Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, whatever you listen to your podcast, and please subscribe to the More Self Discovery channel. I appreciate it. And you guys be blessed, take care, and be safe.
Thank you again.
All
I'll
right.
see you
Thank you
soon.
again. We will talk soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.